When it comes to dog training, having a plan is important, and if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. This is especially important when it comes to dog socialization and introducing your puppy to other dogs. Things can go in a couple of different directions. That's why in today's video, we're going to talk to you about the things that you need to know about introducing your puppy to other dogs. We're out here for a walk on the McCann property. We've got our dogs with us, and wouldn't you love to have an opportunity to walk with your dogs where they, can interact with other dogs, but they'll still listen? These are the tips we're going to share with you today. I'm Ken Steep.
I'm Cal McCann.
Welcome back to McCann Dogs. Here in our training facility, we've helped more than 100,000 dog owners who are just like you to overcome the same dog training challenges that you have. So if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that I can help you to have a well-behaved four-legged family member. So this afternoon, we worked with a little lab puppy named Hank, and we worked on some of these exercises that we're about to show you.
And he's never been around any dogs yet. He just finally got his last set of shots. So we thought it would be a perfect opportunity to show you the best ways to introduce your dog to other dogs for the first time.
So let's turn the clock back and check out what we did.
Before I get to the point that I'm actually going to let my puppy go and play with other puppies, I need to make sure that I've first established teaching the dog to listen to me around other dogs. Once I have an idea that my puppy can choose me, my puppy can listen to me, then I might actually consider letting him go and learning how to play and interact with other dogs. Now, when I do that though, there's a couple things that I'm going to keep in mind. Number one, I'm going to try to make sure that I go to a neutral place. So if my friend has a dog and I have a dog, we're not going to necessarily start off by being in one of our houses where one of the dogs might be a little bit more comfortable, maybe possibly territorial. I'm going to go to a place that's a little bit more neutral and wide open to allow the dogs an opportunity to escape. The other thing that I'm going to do is make sure that we have long lines or leashes attached to the puppies so that if we need to stop and get control, we're able to do so. In fact, when we first let our puppies start to play with other dogs, we actually purposely let them play for only a couple seconds, and then we practice calling them away and rewarding them for being with us. And then we might, hey, settle. Then we might allow the puppy to go and play once again, and then we would call them back and reward them for control. So we want them to learn that you can go and play with other puppies, that's great, but remember at the end of the day, I'm the one that's really the most important. Now we want to get to the point where we can allow our puppies to, spend a lot of time with our older dogs, whether it's in the house or outside of the house as well. But before we do that, we need to make sure that we have some type of control. So one of the things that we start off with when our puppies are really young is teaching them how to respond to their name around the other dogs. Now, it's really important that when you do this, that whatever other dog that you have is also under control. So we have our little poodle out right now, and she actually really likes puppies. So this is going to be a good distraction. Now, as you can see, they're interested in being with one another. So I'm going to take an opportunity to train Hank at this point. Hank! Yes, good boy. Now you'll notice I didn't say his name and then cross my fingers and hope that he responded. I said his name and then automatically used some high value treats in order to get him to move towards me. The other thing that I did is I moved away from my other dog, and because if I was trying to get his attention and I was just staying really close to the other dog, or if that other dog wasn't on a leash, she would just want to run to me too to get the treats, and then it could just be a pile of chaos. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to just move my food away. He's a bit distracted by her once again. Oh, that's such a good choice. Yes, I'm going to take an opportunity and reward that. He chose to lay on a loose leash rather than go jump on that other dog. You are getting so smart. Good, let's try it again though. Good. Hank, yay! Good boy! Wow, good boy, yes! Now with good timing, I said his name, I used a bit of food, and he was actually almost turning all on his own. So I'm actually going to be a little bit daring right now, and I'm going to test Hank. I'm going to call his name, and I'm not going to use the food to help him. And if he turns all by himself, I'm going to give him a little jackpot reward here and make sure he understands that I love this behavior. Once I get to the point where he's responding reliably to me all of the time, I then can start to think about allowing the dogs to be a little bit more free together and spend more time together without being quite so controlled. And I'm gonna get a little bit distracted. I'm gonna ignore him here for a second. You're so smart. Who's that? Yes! Good boy. So literally just from a few repetitions, I've only been working with this dog for a couple minutes here. With a good couple repetitions and high value treats, he's starting to learn that choosing me over jumping on that other dog is much more important, because my hope for my household, especially with multiple dogs or taking my dog to different places, is that my dog can be around other dogs and more harm me. I want them to be able to spend time together. They can play, they can do those types of things, but also in the house, I just want them to learn to chill out and mind their own business. Hank, yay! Good boy! When you're training your puppy, it's all about finding those opportunities to work. If I had just ignored him there, he maybe had just pulled his leash all the way over to the other dog. So I always want to be on the lookout for when I need to control things. Good boy. I do want him to understand to like the other dogs, but I also want him to understand that at the end of the day, I'm the most important thing, and that he needs to be focused on moving with me. It's common when people have puppies interacting with other dogs for them to say things like, just let them figure it out. You know, let the older dog teach the younger puppy what they're supposed to do. And in some cases that is okay, but you need to be really good at reading dog body language before you're able to do that. And the truth is, most people just really aren't that good at it. And if you don't know when to step in and intervene or redirect, you could be putting your puppy into, you know, potentially dangerous situation. You could also be putting your older dog or your friend's dog or whoever's dog it is into a situation that is uncomfortable for them, and it could lead to, you know, puppy being nipped or dogs becoming really stressed about other dogs or puppies. I want to give you an example of when it's important to control your puppy around other dogs. Now, Hippie's laying here behaving herself, just sort of being a little bit calm, and Hank is super interested in him, and you can see when Hank goes towards her, she's baring her teeth, basically saying, bug off. Now, if I was to sit here and do absolutely nothing, I'm not being a good advocate for this older dog here. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that I'm controlling Hank so that Hippie feels, okay, mom's got it. I can be confident. I don't need to be stressed out about it. So I'm just going to pull Hank away a little bit. Good boy, good. Just leave that. No, leave it. So see how he's trying to inch towards. If I let him do that, basically I'm just teaching him. He doesn't have to listen to me. You can just behave yourself over here. Leave it. Yes, good. There. Now, he chose to pay attention to me. Where's my treat bag? Here it is. Good boy, so I'm gonna reward him for that. Good boy, yes, good girl, good down. Good, I want her to understand that when I'm in the room, she doesn't have to worry and stress about anything. But that also means that I need to be in the room when they're together. If I wasn't here watching, Hank would probably jump all over Hippie. Hippie would get stressed out and then nip and bite him, and then, you know, chaos would ensue. So I need to make sure I'm controlling the scenario. Just relax. Good boy, there we go. Why don't you lie down instead? There, good boy. If you're a family that has multiple dogs and you're bringing a puppy into a home that already has 1 or 2 dogs in it, socialization is something that you're gonna probably feel needs to happen all of the time. But you know, with some of these tips that we're giving you about controlling it and sort of being on it, it's impossible to pay attention to them all of the time. So sometimes socialization is just learning how to be around another dog and be calm and quiet. So if he's in the crate and my other dogs are loose at the moment, you know, maybe it's a time where I don't have all the animals loose. I have the puppy away and let the adult dog have some alone time, some just chill time. I'm gonna just teach my puppy, sometimes you don't get free rein of the house. The older dogs, they've been through the road, they understand what to do in the house. You need to be calm and quiet. Now I'm actually gonna choose to reward Hank right now, because he just decided to lay a little bit more quietly. And then I can also teach him to, you know, listen properly and to be calm and relax in his crate while the other dogs are doing other things. And this is something that I like to do with my young puppies. So I have treats here, and I'm gonna reward this dog, and I'm gonna reward Hank for being just a little bit more relaxed. Good, okay, good, left, good, left. Yes, good, quiet, good boy. So if I start to interact with this dog, I'm gonna reward Hank for just chilling out. Tap, tap, good, tap, yes, sit down, yes. Good boy, good, quiet, there it is. Good boy, so he learns that this other dog can go past. Good, yes, good, yes, good. If this other dog's by, she shouldn't be barking. Good, yes, excellent. Very good. And I can also try things, oh, you got a freebie. I can also try things with the roles reversed. I could have Funky in a bit of a controlled situation, and I could be teaching Hank that when he's out and you know, hanging out with me, not to be going and jumping on the other adults' dogs' heads, and just to be learning how to act appropriately inside the home. Once you get to the point where your dog is able to have a little bit of listening skills and you're able to control them, you're going to start to think about what types of puppies and other dogs are you going to expose your puppy to first. And I have this silly saying that I've follow and teach, and that is I choose my puppy's friends wisely. So I want my puppy to think that the world is full of sunshine and roses, and I don't want my puppies to have bad experiences, especially when they're young and in a really impressionable state. And so I need to kind of get to know what my puppy's personality is like, and then from there, I need to make sure I'm exposing him to puppies that are going to accelerate his confidence, is going to teach him how to be, a social and respectful dog to others. What I don't want to do is expose him to other dogs that might be a little bit too boisterous for him. They could, be a bit of a bully and teach him to be a little bit worried about other dogs. Or with a lab, which is typically not our problem, I want to be careful that I don't teach him that he can be a bully. I wouldn't want it to line him up with a sort of a meeker and more mild dog and teach him that he can just steamroll every dog that he sees, because that's not going to be a very nice lesson for him to learn either. So I'm going to pick and choose dogs that are very similar match to my puppy, not necessarily in breed, but in temperament and in energy level and in play style, to ensure that when he's learning to play, he's learning to play appropriately, and then I'm going to keep it controlled.
It's pretty easy to make mistakes when you're training a puppy, but the more you know, the less mistakes you'll make. So to know the biggest mistake that people make when it comes to socializing dogs, check out that video right there. Now, if you'd like an opportunity to train your puppy with us, check out the link in the description below to our Puppy Essentials, where you'll get to work with a mechanic instructor every single week. On that note, I'm Ken.
I'm Kale.
Happy training. Bye for now.